Up next, 6 of the best in strength athletics in the world begin their quest for a spot in this year's World's Strongest Man final. Americans Kevin Ferris and Trey Mitchell both look to return to the championship round and perhaps this time hold the trophy up on high. But they'll have to contend with veterans. The singing strongman from Australia, Eddie Williams, and 5-time finalist, the Highland Oak Luke Stalman of Great Britain, and 2 hungry rookies in Canada's strongest cop, Tristan Hoth, and one of the youngest competitors here, Oskar Zielkowski of Poland. The 2024 SBD World's Strongest Man kicks off right now.
Welcome everybody to the 2024 SBD World's Strongest Man. Once again this year, we're in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where we've got an absolutely amazing event lined up for us. The 2017 champion, Eddie Hall, is here with us. Eddie, first of all, what a great lineup. We've got the man who dominated here last year, Canada's Mitchell Hooper, the man whose title he took, Tom Stalman, and among the other contenders, T-Rex, Evan Singleton.
Yeah, 2 former champions and 2 dark horses, in my opinion, that could win the title. We've got Evan Singleton, of course, and Matthew Ragg. He's looking so strong on social media at the minute. I'm really excited to see what goes down.
OK, we'll have to wait to future qualifying groups to see them in action. Today, Group 1 is Kevin Ferris of the USA, Canada's Tristan Hoth, another American, Trey Mitchell from Texas, Great Britain's Luke Stalman, Tom's brother, Eddie Williams of Australia, and Poland's Oskar Zielkowski. So 2 of last year's finalists there in the shape of Luke Stalman and Trey Mitchell. Trey actually placed 4th last year, but this hasn't been the best of years for him.
No, it has not been smooth. Around about 6 months ago, he detached his Achilles heel off his right ankle, which is not ideal for strongman. It means he's going to have 2 months in bed, 2 months probably learning to walk again, and then 2 months training. So 2 months prep has been realistically not enough for this kind of contest.
Not the best indeed. We'll be seeing how he fares then as we get event 1 underway. It's the Webster Stones, and for that, it's over to our commentators again this year, Danny Wallace and Colin Bryce.
Well, thank you, James. Thank you, Eddie. I'm Danny Wallace once again alongside Colin Bryce as we kick off the 2024 competition with Group 1 and the Webster Stones, Colin.
Yes, indeed. The men are going to go in pairs, head-to-head, lifting these stones weighing 250 pounds and 300 pounds, so they're a little awkward. And you have to cover the most distance possible. 1 drop's allowed for 10 seconds, and then you have to pick it up and go again. Named after David Webster, former WSM head ref. Here is the first pair.
Absolutely, Tristan Hoth, the debutant, up against a very experienced Kevin Ferris from the USA. And these implements just so awkward, you want to keep them well away from your knees.
Absolutely, yeah. You try and sort of wing your arms out, if you like, as much as you possibly can to keep them away from clipping your legs. And Tristan Hoth doing a really good job of it. Surprisingly, Kevin Ferris, who's a world record holder in a similar event, struggling a little bit.
Well, Hoth out in front, like you say. And now the awkward turn.
Yeah, never the fun bit of it. The 20-meter mark, so over 60 feet here. Now Ferris, is he just playing tortoise in the hare? These are a little bit lighter than the stones he's used to. Just a fraction lighter, and now here we go. Is this where Ferris comes into his own?
6, well, like you say, the tortoise in the hare.
8, 9. Magnus Fair Magnuson, referee just giving him the 10 count, and Hoeth, Canada's strongest cop, he's going to grind it out a little bit more, so this is no done deal yet.
Well, down they go for Hoth, and that'll be that for him. That's the benchmark now for Ferris. He just needs to beat that.
Oh, his grip's opening up.
Manages it. Oh.
The old dive technique, Danny.
We often see it in soccer, don't we? Less so in strongman.
I think it's where it touches the ground, though, the referees will go to.
With a distance of 32.59
32.59 for Kevin Ferris, puts him in the lead.
Yeah, he gave it absolutely everything there just to sneak ahead of Hoeth, but the grip was still solid. I'm afraid his legs got knocked out from under him.
Poland, Poland, Oskar Zukowski.
Onto the pole then. First time here as well.
Representing Australia,
He's singing strongman.
Williams.
Beautiful voice, voice of an angel. Thighs of the devil. Eddie Williams.
Zolkowski up against Eddie Williams. Zolkowski has a big background in strongman, although we haven't seen him before here at World's Strongest Man. He's been the Strongman Champions League champion, so he is experienced. But Eddie Williams, well, we talked about Kevin Ferris being the world record holder in the famous nickel stones. Well, this guy demolished it last year. He has a Titan's grip, and he's looking good again.
There's Zolkowski. He's allowed to put it down once, of course. Just needs to get to that end white line, just touch it and turn, but this is looking bad for him.
That's it, yes. Yeah, he didn't exactly manage that particularly well. Eddie Williams, he hasn't even put it down yet. Look at those massive mitts. He's got hands like a bunch of bananas, he really does. There we go, touches the line and starts to head back. This is over 40 meters now, this is ridiculous.
This face was me last night with the shopping. I did the same thing, put it down, but 10 seconds, he can keep going. Just that one put down allowed.
Gosh, how much further can he take this? He's already beaten Ferris, a former world record holder in this. Does he have to take it that much further? Well, there is one more pair, and that will be a very good result.
Yes, an excellent result there for the Australian. 46.45 metres. That's throwing down the gauntlet.
That is absolutely superb.
10.66. Let's
10.66 for the debutant, Zolkowski.
I don't think he's going to get too many points for that. He'll be disappointed. But as for Eddie Williams, sterling performance. And look at him, he was smiling at the end. Something wrong with this guy.
Well, coming up, two more giants in the sport will attempt to dethrone the amazing result put up by Eddie Williams. Who has the stones to come out on top? Find out when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man.
World's Strongest Man on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by SBD, proudly supporting the world's strongest athletes. By Visit Myrtle Beach, 60 miles of where you belong. By the WSM Store, level up your strength, power up with World's Strongest Man gear. And by Canac, beyond maximum security.
Well, welcome back. And Luke Stalman now preparing to take on the Webster Stones. Let's learn a bit more about him in his SBD Power Profile.
Luke Stalman, 39 years old, 6'3", 359 pounds, from Invergordon, Scotland. Coming into this year, I'm feeling really good. You know, just off a big win at Europe's Strongest Man, winning that for the second time. So confidence is high. I'm here to do the business. I've got a little bit more of a reason to try a little bit harder this year. I'm a dad now, so my son Koa is out this year to watch his dad compete, which is pretty cool. Since he's been born, he's given me so much energy, so much passion, so much joy, you know, so I've got to lead by example, and I need to feel that energy, and that's because Koa's given me that. When I pound my chest, when I bite my teeth, that's what I think. I think of Koa. I can't just be here just to make up the numbers. I can't just be here to have fun. I've got to be here to do the work and show him that if you work hard, if you're dedicated, if you're consistent, if you're resilient, if you believe and are passionate about something, doing all those things will allow you to be free in life. My purpose is to show Koa how to be a good man. I think that's my job. Only a small percentage of men, you know, get to do this, and that's why we all have that want to win. At the end of it, we all know who the best guy in the world is, and we all have a beer after and have a good time.
Well, new inspiration then, driving Luke Stalman. And welcome, of course, to the world's strongest baby. Great favourite, Luke Stalman.
Representing the
crowd.
United States.
And this guy, of course, Trey Mitchell from the US.
Yes, the big Texan up against the Scotsman from the north of Scotland. Former oil rig worker up against, well, the farmer is what Trey Mitchell is, but he's had a terrible injury in the last 6 months. He managed to tear off his Achilles tendon, and that's not something It heals back easily, not without operations.
Not as fun as it sounds, is it? Luke Stalman then on the turn. Manages that, looking very strong. Well, poor Trey Mitchell. Well, he's a battler, isn't he? What must be going through his mind now?
He's a battler, but going at this pace. Yeah, I mean, he manages to hold it as long as Luke, but just covers less than half the distance.
And psychologically, he's got a tougher battle now than Luke. Just wants to do as well as he can. That will be it for Trey Mitchell, and that will be it for Luke Stalman.
Yes, I think Stalman's gone further than Kevin Ferris, but not as far, obviously, as Eddie Williams, who made 2 turns.
33.12 metres. Puts the Brits in second place.
And Trey Mitchell there in 5th. That's disappointing for him. He has better events coming.
The winner of the Webster Stones, representing Australia, Eddie Williams.
Well, what a result for the Australian. What more will he bring? He's with James and Eddie now.
You're known for this event or similar stone carries, and it was crucial for you to get off to a good start. Why are you so good at this?
Put it down to big mitts, and Polynesians are known for their pain threshold, so I guess those 2 things.
Pain's a big part of this, Eddie.
It is. I noticed with Eddie, he just ignores the pain in his hands. But one thing I did notice is that wide up here, it doesn't touch his legs, whereas the other guys, it's knocking off the knees, and Eddie just seems to shuffle along. It was brilliant. Little fast feet, just heel toe, heel toe. What was the technique for you in your head?
So I tried to, big lats and small feet to avoid getting cut.
Brilliant start, Eddie. How do you feel about the next event?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm a different athlete this year.
Magnificent. Congratulations. Eddie Williams, everybody.
Well done, man.
So Australia's Eddie Williams with a strong start, taking the first event and getting 6 points. Luke Stalman in second place, and America's Kevin Ferris and Trey Mitchell in 3rd and 5th. Well, it's a grueling event, becoming a World's Strongest Man Classic, Event 2, and the return of the deadlift ladder when we come back with the SBD World's Strongest Man. Well, hello. Welcome back to the breathtaking shores of Myrtle Beach, the host of this year's edition of the SBD World's Strongest Man, where the athletes of Group 1 will begin their second event, the deadlift ladder.
Well, this is deadlifting, but with a twist. It's 5 bars getting heavier and heavier, starting at 660 pounds and ending at 840 pounds if you get there. Well, we've already had 2 pairs go, and Trey Mitchell, a huge deadlifter, came short of the 5, but did 4. Currently in 4th is Zilkowski of Poland. He managed just 3 bars. As for Ferris, well, he did 4 just behind Trey Mitchell. 42 seconds for him. But it was Hoeth, the Canadian cop, who did all 5 in 49 seconds. Great work. 1 pair to come.
And that pair consists, first of all, of a very casual-looking Luke Stalman, the new father,
Great Britain, Luke
extending the dynasty of the Stalman to a baby one, going head-to-head with, well, he did such an extraordinary job with the Webster Stones. We should really rename them the Williams Stones, the Australian Eddie Williams.
Yes, of course, Big Tom Stalman, 2 times World's Strongest Man, is Luke's younger brother. Oh, he's a whole lot bigger. He's about 5 or 6 inches taller. Now then, Eddie Williams closest to camera. Luke Stalman on the far side. Neck and neck at the moment, but that was really snappy from Luke.
It's absolutely pretty much neck and if they had necks, they would be neck and neck. But this really a battle of giants now. Stalman nipping ahead, I think.
Well, 5 bars in 49.68 seconds is what they're gunning for here. There goes number 4. Good effort from Luke Stalman, Europe's strongest man twice now.
20 seconds now.
It's a moment to compose himself. Needs to hit this hard, but Williams nipping at his heels.
Both onto the final bar. Both have 15 seconds to pull it. We've done this event once before, and it was about 1/3 of the men managed to finish it. That was it.
Williams manages it, and Stalman does not.
I would never have bet on that coming into this. Eddie Williams, he's really done his homework coming into this, and Luke, he'll be very disappointed, I think.
Dances off his socks. Eddie Williams, of course, wearing shoes on this very hot black surface. Stalman opting for socks. Could have been a mistake.
Third place then for Luke, just 4 bars for him. As for Big Eddie, not quite as quick as Hoeth, but all 5 gets him second place. Great effort.
Well, with that result, Eddie Williams maintains his spot at the top of the leaderboard, 11 points for him. Growing some distance from second place is Tristan Hoeth and Luke Stalman with 9. Ferris 4 points off the lead with 7. Well, a true test of athleticism, stamina, grit and overall strength. The Sandbag Steeplechase when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man.
World's Strongest Man on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by SBD, proudly supporting the world's strongest athletes. By the WSM Store. Level up your strength. Power up with World's Strongest Man gear. By Visit Myrtle Beach, 60 miles of where you belong. And by Connect, beyond maximum security.
Well, welcome back to Myrtle Beach, where qualifying Group 1 is about to begin their third event, the Sandbag Steeplechase, Colin.
Yes, 3 sandbags weighing 265 pounds each have to be carried over 6 segments. Over the hurdle in the middle and then on the platform at the end. 75 seconds for what is a brutal task. Well, we're worried about Trey Mitchell's fitness, but he managed all 6 in under 75 seconds just. As for Zielkowski, the pole, 4 in 54, with a sore biceps to boot.
Representing the United States,
I think a sore bicep is acceptable after that. We'll see how Kevin Ferris fares.
Representing Great
Up
Britain,
against Luke Stalman. Tied for second so far after these 2 events.
And no smiles there from Stalman. He's probably quite disappointed about losing to Eddie Williams in the deadlift. As he's down to business now. He wants to win this group, this whole heat, because if he doesn't, second and third will go into a stone off to make the final. He doesn't want to be there. That's a lot of wasted energy he does not want to do.
Well, that's the first. The sack's done. It's horrible. Dead weight. So hard to even just work out how to pick up.
Yeah, you really have to manhandle it. So easy to slip out your hands. Over the hurdle then. That's 3 of the segments done for Stalman. He's halfway there. Ferris chucking it on his shoulder, interestingly.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how people's techniques change even halfway through an event like this.
Well, I really expected Ferris to make the running here, but Luke Stalman's got plenty of power. Sometimes when you're as big as Luke and you've got legs that big, like tree trunks, aren't they? Yeah. You can burn out. But so far, so good as he goes towards the final platform.
Very powerful, very consistent from Stalman. Up it goes, hands off, he's done.
He was down to business there now. Look at this, Ferris. Actually, he's one of the shorter men. He's struggling to get his arms rounded on a grip. He's going to run out of time.
And he has. Well, that's a shame for Kevin Ferris.
5 segments, the time of 58.33.
Managed 5.
Let's hear it
just under a minute.
Ferris.
Not happy at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 6 segments.
Well, he's better Zielkowski.
104.16.
Puts, yeah, him into third behind Stalman, who's leading. Trey Mitchell is in second now.
Stalman.
Well, Stalman doing what he needed to do.
Look at that, Danny. He threw that sack over. Gained an extra couple of yards out of throwing it. Saved him some energy.
Last up at the Sandbag Steeplechase.
So the next pairing.
Representing Canada.
Final pairing. This event, the Canadian, Hoeth. Up against a man who's done some extraordinary things today already. Eddie Williams.
I'll become the 3rd ever Polynesian athlete to compete in the World's Strongest Man final. And are either of these guys going to shot put this over like Luke Stalman did? A little push there. Certainly makes sense to give it a roll. Hoeth, he's quick, isn't he?
He is. It's interesting to see Williams just cast a quick glance to see what Hoeth was going to do.
Well, They're both choosing to do this shield-shaped, or Husafelt-shaped, as it's known, sack, which is still the same weight, though.
Williams managing to throw his just a little bit further. Now, the straight race.
This is neck and neck, isn't it? On to the final one. Who's going to get this one? Williams has the height advantage, but Howarth, being a little shorter, gets it up quicker.
I think Williams is going to throw this one.
I think he's run out of puff. But yes, the Canadian cop charging away. Could he take the win? 104 is the time to beat.
Well, goodness me.
10 seconds.
That looks like Howarth will take the lead there, whereas Williams has really, as you say, just run out of steam.
I don't think he's going to make it. 115.
Ah, it's a shame. See, I was saying earlier about adapting halfway through an event. I really thought Williams was just going to start hoisting those in through the air. He managed 5 segments in just under a minute. But taking this event, the new boy at World's Strongest Man, or one of them, Tristan Howarth from Canada, all 6.
This guy's a bag of tricks, isn't he? Great effort there. Didn't tire at all. This is so impressive from the cop.
And that result leapfrogged the Canadian World's Strongest Man rookie into the lead with 15 points. There's still a 2-way tie in second between 2 powerhouses, Stalman and Williams. And an exciting race to the finish ahead, with only 2 more events to the automatic qualification into the final. And then, of course, the epic stone-off, all to decide our first 2 entrants to make it to the biggest stage in strength athletics. For James Richardson, Eddie Hall and Colin Bryce, I'm Danny Wallace. In association with 45 Live, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.